days ago. Let's go! 3¼ pounds.
What's cracking, guys? In today's episode, number 4 of the Coming Home series, we're headed from Smith Lake, Alabama to Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri. We've made it about halfway through the Coming Home series now, and I'm looking forward to showing you guys my experience here at Lake of the Ozarks. Had a blast. This area has been very tough on me in the past, so we get a little bit of Lake of the Ozarks redemption you guys will see coming up here. Gotta say a huge shout out to Ray and Jan who let me stay at their place for the 2 days I was there. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Greatly appreciated. Hope you enjoy the video.
Just really grateful to be able to be here and have a stopping point on my way back home. There was a big MLF Invitationals event that just finished up yesterday. All the fish were sight fish, so it sounds like I'm gonna be bed fishing or doing something of that nature. I know where the fish are gonna be, so it pretty much just comes down to running into them and finding the pockets that they're gonna be in. For the bed fish, I'm gonna keep it real simple. I've got a 3/8 ounce Ace Jig in the Daunt color. Just nice compact profile there. The Ace Jig should be perfect for the beds. And I got that on this 7.2 medium heavy prototype C3 fishing rod. I already know this thing catches them on a jig, so it's a great jig rod. Looking forward to hopefully getting a bite on that tomorrow. Next rod is another really simple bed fishing bait. It's just a 1/4 ounce Texas rig with a Z-Craw Junior. Reason I'm going with such a compact profile is if they do try to just nip at the tails, more than likely they're gonna end up getting the whole bait. Then our last two, if we need to finesse them, we got a wacky rig. Can absolutely never go wrong with a wacky rig during the spawn. One of the best presentations. It's subtle, it's natural, and it just flat out gets bit during the spawn. When they're shallow, you can skip this up under the dock cables, which you guys will see tomorrow. Floating docks are very challenging to fish at times because they got all these dock cables, but you need something that skips really well. That's where something like a buzzbait or a wacky worm or a jig excels, because you can skip it up under those cables and not have to worry about wrenching a fish over them. My other option for a little finesse tactic is a Nico rig. Need those waterland bed fishers for today. Oh yeah. All right guys, we come back into the back of this pocket. First creek I've gone back into. I saw probably the best looking piece of spawning cover I've ever seen. There's beds all over it. Nobody was actually spawning on it though. But right here I actually got a couple that are sitting on a nest. Guys, that was so cool. I think I just got some of the coolest footage I've ever recorded. That was some tactical bassin type stuff. I pitched this wacky worm in there, kept trying to hit it with it, and it would irritate it, but the wacky worm is so hard to like place exactly where you want. It always floats off to different sides. So I finally got it in its bed perfectly, right where I wanted it, like right in the sweet spot. I just let it sit there. Just let it sit there. And eventually after 3 passes, that fish finally couldn't resist itself and ate it. It was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. If all else fails, just let it sit there. So when you see that, usually the shad start spawning a little bit after the bass or around when the bass are spawning. That's really cool to see firsthand. That's my first time ever seeing gizzard shad spawning. Didn't like that, did you? On the Ace Jig. Right in the roof of the mouth. Now this is cool. What I just did is very cool. I just pitched a Nico rig onto what I could tell was a bed on live scope, and I could tell there was fry around it. It's like a little cloud. So basically I'm able to tell that there's a bed there because of live scope. It's crazy. And that's the first time I ever caught a fry garter on bed in deep water on live scope. And buddy, I tell you what, you got yourself good. That's a nice fish. Happy with that one. That's bigger than any fish we caught back in February when he came here. Back to your bed. See, buddy? I just bite down that chunk a little bit, make it a nice compact profile. It's money, dude. Oh my God, these fry garters. They're gonna be a little bit bigger fish too, I think. I mean, both of these are bigger than most of the ones I see cruising up shallow. Another one for the Ace Jig. That's cool. I mean, these fish are instantly jumping on it. Ace to the face, baby. Can't beat the Ace Jig during the spawn. Ace Jig, baby. Gosh, he just never stopped running with it. Oh, that was cool. Might be the day of the ace. switch into this dyed the tips chartreuse. No way. First cast. Why we adapt. Let's go. Pretty sure this is her. Should be. Didn't want the jig, didn't want the mag draft quite. I knew it was a decent one. A little bit more finesse. That's how you get it done. I'm gonna get her back to her bed. That was pretty cool. I love seeing adjustments work out. Just made another cast in there just to make sure, but one thing I want to point out to you guys, and I think this is crucial, especially when fish are very finicky and they're particular in what they're going to eat. When they're on a bed, they're not always gung-ho ready to just pounce on it. If they been caught a couple times, it's very important to focus on the minor details, and that's where using like this Spike It dipping glow stick, I swear by these things. Put a little bit of chartreuse on those tips. I think that helped tremendously with this fish because it went from a non-biting fish to, I mean, it was 2 casts in a row I got bit, so that is a very obvious sign of that working. Oh wow, what? That's not what I wanted. She flared on it too. Finally caught her, but I'm gonna release her right now. That was not what I intended to do at all. She nosed down on it and flared her gills, and I swore she ate it, but I guess not. So that fish was very close to actually eating the bait. Took me a little bit, but basically what I had to do is I went through all the baits, and then nothing was finessey enough, I guess, to convince that thing to want to eat it. So I finally went back to the jig and just kept hitting it in the head and the tail, basically just making it angry at the bluegill. That's what my jig is supposed to represent. And I finally, one time, got it to actually shoot out and eat it. I didn't set the hook right away though, because I knew he'd spit it out just because it was the first time. And it was by pitching it right in front of his face at a certain angle. And then he finally set up in that same way, and I did it again. And that's why I thought I had him, because he did the exact same thing, and I was ready to catch him. So, I mean, we got him in the boat, but in a tournament, that would not have counted. That was a nice fish, too. Literally, just about after we got the other one, this would have been a sick catch. There we go, guys. That's one of the ones we want on the Ace Jig. That was awesome. I wish I'd have just clicked the GoPro. It's been hot out here. I just caught that bedfish. Turned around, popped out here, saw this one on live scope, pitched to it right away as soon as it landed in there. That's why we use the Ace Jig. That right there, that is awesome. Today they've been eating a jig very well. This Ace Jig, 3/8 ounce Ace Jig in the donk color with a Z-Craw Junior, compact profile, easy for them to eat, and it looks just like a bluegill. That's all we're doing. It's super simple. Something I've been getting more and more confident with is braid to fluoro, and I do it a lot with spinning rods, but you know, I tie an FG knot and I've got it down pretty much 100% perfect. I'm very particular with everything in fishing, but especially my knots. Last thing you want is a knot to break and lose a fish like that in the tournament. Anyways, running 40-pound braid to a 20-pound leader. And the 20 pounds for all the dot cables and everything that I'm fishing around. Without this setup, I don't think I'd have caught that fish. And the rod I'm using is the 7.2 medium heavy prototype of C3's Fishing's custom rod. The blank is perfect on this thing. Definitely be on the lookout for these. You guys will be able to custom order them. They're based out of Minnesota. We're only in the prototype phase, so good things are coming down the line. Catching them on that Ace Jig and the C3 fishing rods. Can't beat that. Oh yeah. 341. I'd take one of them in a tournament, no doubt. That is a pretty fish right there. Looks like, oh, she was definitely spawning down there. That's the one we came here for. Thank you, baby. Look at the Ozarks begging. Clockwork, baby. The Ace Jig is putting in some absolute work today. That's a little, see it's peeing? It's a little buck. Ace to the face. Oh my God. It just chased off carp. It's like a 4-pounder. I will stay here all night until I catch this fish. This would make the trip to Ozarks worth it, because I guarantee it's a big one. Oh my God. Wow. Oh my God. Holy crap. That makes up for not catching that bedfish. I don't know how big that one is. That is a giant. On the Ace Jig. Skipped all the way under that dock. Oh my God. Guys, that is a giant. Let's go. The camera's almost out of storage. Guys, I spent 2 hours on that bedfish. I went through everything, and I'm grateful I did because I learned a lot about big largemouth on beds and what they're looking for. That was the most picky fish I have ever seen on a bed. I thought I wasn't gonna be able to beat that one. I am so grateful. Thank you, Jesus, is all I gotta say. He's blessed me with this coming home series, whatever I'm gonna call this, and I've had some really good days. That right there is one of the coolest fish catches I've ever had in my life. It's gotta be 4, yeah? 4 1/4 exactly. Oh, that is a big fish. 4.25. That's the Lake of the Ozarks. Giant largemouth I came out here for. So blessed to have Ray and Jan give me a place to stay for a couple nights on my way back home. Just blessed to be able to do this. Again, a huge shout out to my parents for letting me have the boat and chase this dream. Fish like that, just, God, they get me going. It's been a good day. Thank you, girl. Unreal.